Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into the fast-moving world of mixed reality, VR. Looking at the big two right now, Apple's Vision Pro and the Meta Quest 3.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time, isn't it? Because they both promise these like super immersive experiences, but how they get there, totally different approaches.
Absolutely. And we've got a great comparison piece here, lots of detail. Our mission today really is to cut through all the specs, all the
Yeah.
noise, and just pull out the key differences, the things that are actually going to, matter to you if you're thinking about this tech.
Right. Think of it as your quick guide to what in immersive tech right now, what the real fights are about, maybe,
Yeah.
and why it matters.
Okay, so let's get straight into the hardware. You look under the hood of the Vision Pro, and wow, Apple really went all out.
They really did.
We're talking dual micro OLED screens, 4K plus, something like 23 million pixels total. It's nuts.
That pixel count is genuinely staggering. It's way, way higher than the Quest 3's LCDs, which are still good, mind you, around 2K per eye. But Apple's clearly shouting visual quality here.
And then they've got this dual chip setup, the M2 chip we know from Macs, plus this new R1 chip just for handling all the sensor input.
Yeah, and speaking of sensors, 12 cameras, 5 other sensors. It's a lot. They're trying to understand your environment in like minute detail.
Right. But then here's the interesting bit. The Meta Quest 3, okay, it doesn't hit those absolute peak numbers, but it's still really, really good. Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip.
Which is a very capable chip for VR and MMR.
Exactly. And it manages this performance, this solid spec sheet at a price that's just way lower. It's got 4 tracking cameras, 2 color cameras for pass-through. Still a solid setup.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about like where's the point where more specs don't add that much more value for most people? Meta seems to have nailed a kind of sweet spot. You know, great performance, but not that eye-watering price tag. How much better is that Apple experience really going to feel day to day because of those extra pixels and sensors?
That's the big question, yeah. Theoretically, that super high resolution on the Vision Pro, it should mean incredibly sharp text, amazing detail in videos and apps.
Yeah, definitely.
And the dual chips probably means super smooth performance, no lag. Even with complex stuff running, you can make the whole virtual world feel more, well, real and responsive.
That's the potential, for sure. More power usually means smoother sailing, especially for demanding games or apps. But it also really depends on the software, right? How well does it actually use all that power?
Good point. And power brings us to battery, Apple's choice. That's interesting. An external battery pack gives you about 2 hours.
Right, dangling by a cord.
Whereas Meta Quest 3 has the battery built right in, gets you maybe a bit longer, 2 to 3 hours, roughly the same ballpark.
Yeah. That external pack on the Vision Pro, I get it. It takes weight off your head, maybe helps balance. But you're tethered, sort of. Meta's built-in battery definitely feels more mobile, like grab and go.
Okay, so hardware shows some differences, but the software, that's where they really diverge, I think. Apple's running Vision OS.
I knew it.
Designed, obviously, to work seamlessly with everything else, Apple.
Yeah.
Your iPhone, Mac, iCloud, FaceTime, Apple TV. It's all meant to just connect.
Yeah, and that's classic Apple strategy, isn't it? The ecosystem lock-in or benefit, depending on how you see it.
Right, and they can leverage the App Store, too, bring over tons of existing iPad and iPhone apps into this, like, spatial view.
For anyone deep in the Apple world already, that's got to be appealing.
Yeah.
That instant familiarity, maybe. Making some tasks feel natural right away.
Then you look at Meta. They're on their own custom OS,
Yeah.
built on Android. And their big strength, the Meta Quest Store.
Which is huge now.
Yeah.
Years of content.
Thousands of VR games, apps specifically built for this kind of thing. Plus, strong ties to their own stuff, like Horizon Worlds for social VR, Messenger integration.
So the core focus feels really different. Apple looks like it's aiming for like a new type of computer. Productivity, media consumption, but spatial.
Yeah, like work and movies.
While Meta is doubling down on what put them on the map, gaming, fitness, social connection in VR.
Exactly. And nowhere is that difference clearer than the price. Apple Vision Pro starts at $3,499, $3,500.
Oof, yeah.
Quest 3 starts at $499 for the under 28 gig model.
That's, yeah, more than 7 times cheaper. It just screams different target markets, doesn't it?
Totally. Apple's going for the premium user, the tech enthusiast with deep pockets, maybe businesses.
Right, the pro user, maybe creative professionals. Whereas Meta is clearly saying, we want everyone to be able to afford this. Mass market accessibility.
So, okay, you've got one. What can you actually do? With the Vision Pro, Apple's pushing productivity. Imagine multiple virtual screens floating around you, multitasking spatially,
Mm-hmm. Like Minority Report, but maybe less frantic hand-waving.
hopefully. And then super immersive 3D movies. They're also talking up professional uses, like architects using CAD, designers, virtual meetings with spatial FaceTime.
That professional angle is interesting. Augmenting how people already work, adding that 3D layer, could be powerful for specific jobs, but yeah, still early days for that content.
Now flip to the Quest 3. The big draw is VR gaming, right? Beat Saber, tons of others.
Yeah,
The library's massive and growing.
absolutely. Gaming is still the killer app for VR for many people.
And fitness is huge too. Apps like Supernatural, FitXR, using VR to make workouts more engaging.
Yeah, that's a really strong area for Meta.
Plus, they're doing more with mixed reality now, using those color cameras for games that blend virtual stuff with your actual room. And of course, the social side with Horizon Worlds.
You can really see the different paths laid out. Meta is building on its entertainment strengths, pushing into mainstream mixed reality uses. That price makes trying it out much less of a leap.
Let's talk about just wearing them. The feel. Apple, well, it looks premium. Aluminum, glass. They have this custom light seal thing that fits your face to block out light.
Yeah, that bespoke fit sounds important for really sealing the immersion. High-end materials definitely feels like an Apple product.
But that external battery we mentioned, it helps with weight maybe, but some reports say it still feels kind of front heavy if you wear it for a while.
Right, there's often that trade-off between premium materials, which can be heavier, and long-term comfort. Apple seems to prioritize that high-end, precise visual experience.
MetaQuest 3, meanwhile, it's lighter, plastic build, slimmer than the Quest 2 even,
Yeah.
and the built-in battery just makes it feel more self-contained.
Yeah, generally people find it pretty comfortable, even for longer gaming sessions, which makes sense, right? If you're pushing gaming and social VR, people need to want to wear it for more than 20 minutes.
Lighter weight, no dangling battery.
Mm-hmm.
Seems focused on comfort for extended use.
Exactly. Practicality over luxury, maybe.
Okay, crucial part. Developers and content. What makes these things useful? Apple's got tools out there, SDKs, Xcode integration, Reality Composer, support for Unity, their own Reality Kit.
So the tools are there, or starting to be.
But the content library at launch, it's leaning heavily on existing iOS and iPad apps, kind of projected into space. Not a ton of unique, built-for spatial experiences yet.
And that's the challenge, isn't it? Having a million iPhone apps floating in front of you isn't necessarily groundbreaking spatial computing. It takes time for developers to figure out what really works and build truly new things.
Right. Now compare that to Meta. Their Quest store is mature. It's been around for years.
Yeah, thousands of apps and games specifically designed for VR.
They've got strong support for the big game engines like Unity and Unreal, a big community of developers who know the platform. Content-wise, they have a huge head start right now.
Definitely. Meta has invested years in building that ecosystem and supporting developers. So if you want the widest variety of immersive stuff to do today, Meta's got the edge there.
So zooming out, what's the bigger strategy here? Apple keeps calling Vision Pro a spatial computer.
Mm-hmm. That wording feels deliberate.
It really signals a long-term ambition, doesn't it? Like maybe this replaces your laptop or tablet eventually.
Yeah, Apple's playing the long game. They're trying to define the next era of personal computing at high price. It fits that narrative. Start with the pros, the early adopters, figure it out, then maybe bring it downstream later.
Meanwhile, Meta, with the Quest 3, feels much more immediate. Consumer first. Get it out there. Drive adoption now.
Right. Focus on mass market appeal, build the network effect with social features, dominate the entertainment side of XR in the near term.
It's about leading the broader XR market today, seems like.
Yeah, two very different timelines and priorities almost.
Okay, so let's try to boil it down. The key takeaways. Vision Pro. Super premium, amazing display, powerful chips, tight Apple ecosystem integration. Focus on productivity and media, but expensive and lighter on native content for now.
Right. And Quest 3, much more affordable. Great performance for the price, huge library of games and VR apps, strong focus on gaming, fitness, social, more comfortable for a longer use, maybe less premium feel, but very accessible.
We saw differences in like the display tech, the chipsets, the whole software approach, what kind of content they push.
The tracking systems, the comfort and design trade-offs, the battery setup, how mature the developer support is, and yeah, fundamentally who they're actually trying to sell it to.
So yeah. There you have it, Apple and Meta carving out really distinct visions for this immersive future. Apple's making this big, expensive bet on spatial computing for, well, probably a niche professional audience to start.
And Meta's all about getting immersive tech into the hands of as many people as possible right now, building on that VR success they've already had.
So the big question we want to leave you with is, which one of these visions clicks more with you? What do you think the future of interacting with tech looks like? Does this split tell us something bigger about where computing and entertainment are headed? Definitely something to chew on.